Hello, yes, it's me. Somebody who in an anime will be considered an old man right now. I'm 34. Fuck, I'm 34. Yeah, it's weird opening up like this because I know the topic that I'm going to have to come through right at the beginning here. I'm gonna just move this a bit closer. So mentally, this year was worse than last year. Anyone that saw my birthday video last year, I had mentioned how I had lost both my grandma and I'd lost both my dogs who I'd had for 10 years within the space of that year, which really sucked. Mentally, this one was worse. So I've got what I'm gonna put down written here on my monitor. But because it is a little bit more negative and upsetting, I'm going to have a timestamp show. I don't know if I am pointing at it. I could be. I hope I am. It's gonna be down here. And yeah, so at the end of that timestamp is when we get up to the whole like, oh yes, this is what I said I'd hope I do in a year, and this is what I actually did. Not the most like good job kind of moment. I'm gonna make that absolutely clear. For the most part, but either way. So getting a bit serious here. I like to think that I'm very strong mentally. I've had my hardships through the years. I've lost pets, I've lost family, I've lost friends, I've seen, terrible things on the news and everything, and I've mostly been able to manage it. The thoughts of, I can't really use the word on YouTube, so let's call it the final decision. Has only ever occurred once. Only once. But I do have occasions where it's normally at night, normally when I'm particularly tired, or if it's the lead up to my birthday. I do suffer from the birthday blues, where I get depressive thoughts. And in April of this year, as in the year that this video comes out, not if you're watching it in 2032, probably disregard almost all of this. My subconscious pulled a cruel trick on me and decided to throw in some existential dread alongside my normal low mood moments. And that really fucked me up. That really fucked me up. In fact, even now, wow, how many months is that? 7 months down the line, like I still get the occasional existential dread thoughts. It fucking sucks, man. But not only that, a month afterwards, one of my cousins passed away. She was 46. I've actually, this is the back part of the show. I'm not showing the front because doxing and all that, but I wore this to a funeral, which was a month afterwards. But I'm gonna be honest with you, it fucking sucked. It really did. I'm just gonna put this back. So, cousin passing away, she's only a little bit older than I was. Existential dread and just the regular depressive thoughts, on top of a significant amount of work stress that was going on. It also piled together to the point where the second time in my life I did think of the final decision. I want to make something clear though, which is sort of where we get to a little bit of a nicer part in this. I'm fine. Okay, I am great, honestly. I feel that I am better mentally than I have been in a while. I'm not saying I was in a bad mental spot. As I said, I think I'm very strong mentally. I'm able to usually handle the hardships, of life and such. But I feel like the past month or so, I've actually been better than I've ever been. And I'm usually in a pretty good spot. Yeah, outside of, when it's night and I'm incredibly tired and having a particularly low mood. But even then, like, less so. So I just want to make something very clear that even though I thought of it during that moment, I never tried to act on it. I was able to pull myself from the brink, and I am much better for it, which is sort of, because I know people are going to say, oh, why are you mentioning this on the internet? We all know how much of a cesspit the internet can be, and it's true, but I feel that it's important to mention this because, look, I'm not gonna sit here and act like mine was on par with people that have attempted the final decision or have to deal with it, to the point where they need medication and everything. Well, for one thing, I don't think it's right to have a contest on who's the most depressed person, because no one wins on that one. But because as well that so to deal with that, I had to do some therapy, CBT therapy specifically. Wait, no, that's redundant. That's cognitive behavior therapy. That's redundant. The point is, because the reason I want to talk about is that just something as light as that, because as far as I'm aware, CBT is like the lowest level, as in like, lowest as in like you got surface and lower and lower. I'm doing a really bad analogy. The first one, like the first steps. And it was fucking incredible. It was 6 sessions over the course of 12 weeks, so one every fortnight and such, alongside a few modules and such. I was lucky. My work had a mental help system and such on there. I understand obviously that not everyone has access to it, but the reason why I want to talk about that stuff is that I want to praise therapy. Like, I don't know why people try to badmouth it. Like, someone's going to call me, if someone turns around and says I'm weak for taking therapy, all right, man, cool. I'm weak because with some help, I got myself mentally in the best spot. Hey, do you know that literally everything that humanity's been able to achieve has pretty much never been done solo? It's always been like a bunch of people helping each other out. Like you think one guy figured out how to build a house. You think one guy invented stuff by themselves. No, it's a team effort here. And and that also applies to like, helping out. Sure, you might be able to get out yourself, but people are there to help you. People want to help you. As far as I see it, look, I don't want to like turn this downer thing into a meme, but I see this as an absolute win. I see this as an absolute win. And that's a thing. Like, that's partially the reason why I want to mention it. The fact that I did have mental struggles. Again, I refuse. I'm not going to pull. I do not want to be a victim of the Dunning-Kruger effect. So if there are people that having it worse, understand that if it feels like I'm insulting you right now, I'm really sorry. I just want to say that therapy is great. Therapy is fantastic. I highly recommend it. Like, even if it's just people walking through some CBT therapy, I highly recommend it. Because it has been a godsend to me, and it has helped me out of a really low par. And as a side, this is somewhat a little bit like, I've always been behind therapy and behind it even more now, but just another thing that is kind of interesting. While that helped me out, it's really weird. But at one point while I was work, I was listening to some music, and I was listening to the chorus of the Final Fantasy XIV track Unleashed, and it was like a switch was flicked. Like, it flicked the switch, and my my depression sort of vanished, and then I was able to work off it. And now, for some reason, I always got a bit emotional with music, but sometimes when I listen to music now, I actually feel like crying. Like I listen to Ash Again and the Music Box of Fate, which are really good songs, by the way. And even now, after hearing it a few times, sometimes I do sort of feel that sort of, that sort of burning in your throat when you're trying not to cry, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I guess I got an appreciation for music now, so thanks. Really don't appreciate the steps that had to be taken to get me there, but thanks. Right. So I know this is sort of all over the place emotionally, but I didn't want this to seem very negative and, downer and depressive and such. Because I'm not that at the moment. I'm very happy at the moment, even though I'm about to basically say that I have failed literally everything that I set out to do. So let's get started on this. Wait, actually, doing so has also made me want to have a new goal. I want to actually get decent at singing. I don't think you'll ever see me do a cover of anything or my own original song. I am far too shy for that. Also, it's going to be a headache going through copyright and everything. But just for myself, I would love to do that. I don't know if it's like regular singing or opera, because that Marco Meatball guy, he's a pretty good singer. I'm saying that because of his partition in the Music Box of Fate community cover thing, which are all fantastic. I'm just saying Marco because he's a guy who's an opera singer, and it's fucking incredible with what he is, even though he said it was bad. You're lying. You are great. I am rambling even more now. I'm going to just move on to the next part. So remember when I said I was fat? Well, I decided to have a health assessment offered by my job, and yeah, I am fat. Not by much though. At the time that I took my assessment, which was back in September, I think, I was 85 kilograms. I can't check what I am now because this is my very Grammy bathroom scales. Because it doesn't turn on. It's broke. And I've changed the battery. I literally put the battery in just now, and I checked. The battery was working. This is broken. So I can't weigh myself. Yay. So yeah, pretty clear what my goal is here: to no longer be fat. I'm doing so much cycling with this thing. I think about 600 calories burnt according to this. Yeah, 684 supposedly. And of course weight stuff. Wow, I'm very hyped today. But yeah, that's basically the only. Well, no, there was another bad thing from the medical assessment. It was like clean bill of health, clean bill of health, clean bill of health, clean bill of health. Hey, guess what? You're not actually 5'11", you're 5'8". I can't really fix that one. So I had a lot of goals that I wanted on YouTube. I wanted to get 5,000 subscribers. I wanted to do an overhaul to my channel appearance, do more big projects, and streaming more with 10 concurrent views on a stream. To which I can say, no, kind of, yes, and no in that order. Admittedly, this is due in part to what I'd mentioned at the start of the video, stopping me from doing stuff until basically the last month or so. I didn't get the 5k subscribers. I haven't overhauled my channel or my streaming stuff. I did do a somewhat big project, which was about my last 20 years playing MMORPGs. That was pretty good, and I did have everything in place for a review of Ace Combat Assault Horizon, but again, stuff that happened partway through the year made made motivation a real bitch and a half to get a hold of. But for streaming, I wanted to get affiliate status before my birthday. I'm recording this on the 7th of November, but I'm almost 999% certain that I'm not going to have affiliate by my birthday, considering the fact I still need, at this time, 2 more days with over 3 average views. And it's really difficult to get a hold of those, it seems, in the Twitchscape. But I'm definitely having a lot more fun with streaming. I'm definitely liking it. I think what I'm probably going to do is when I get affiliate on Twitch, it's not a case of if, it is going to be a case of when, if for anything, just because the requirements are so low, then I'm going to, after that, overhaul my Twitch channel. And then after that, overhaul my YouTube channel. And I'm still aiming for the 5,000 subscribers. And really, that's it. And I want to try to stream 2 times a week. Sundays are pretty much almost always a guarantee unless I got something going on. But I'm thinking maybe like short ones on Thursdays. And maybe like the odd day mixed in, like Saturdays when I don't have Dungeons and Dragons going on. So it's not set in stone, because if my friends want to play something and it's not a game that they're streaming, in which case I would probably stream with them. And this sort of goes with Let's Plays as well, but if I'm doing a Let's Play and one of my friends want to hang out, I will pretty much drop it to hang out with my friends. Because this is, I've said a billion times before, this is not a job. It'll never be a job. It'll be a side hustle at best, unless I start making stupid money, in which case it'll be a job until I can pull a Penguin Zero and be like, yeah, no, I've got enough money now that I don't need anything from you all. All right, see ya. Kind of deal. Also, as well, in my streaming, I don't just stream RPGs anymore. I now stream random stuff. In fact, time is recording. I was going through Cursed Halo 3 because I enjoy Halo and Cursed Halo was funny, and so this is funny. In fact, I've been procrastinating on the finale of Chantilly's because we're at the final boss and I can't be arsed grinding. But yeah, I also dual stream now on YouTube and my Twitch, in case you prefer that. Help me get to affiliate, I guess. So I auditioned for stuff. I did. I didn't get anything. Basically, I want to try and get into something that I auditioned for this year. It doesn't even have to be big, you know? I'm still working on it. I've got like 100 tabs open of various video game lesson stuff. It's just, again, the stuff that happened like at the start of the year sort of really put a wrench in everything. I am trying. In fact, at this time, I'm trying to do a small mod for that's literally on the 7th. So if I'm lucky, I've got it sorted by now. But I'm trying to get a repo mod made. Nothing massive. Just to deal with the fact that Upscream is really scary. And so my friends really don't like it. It's a bit too much for them. So I'm trying to mod it so that it stays in the game but isn't a problem, because apparently at the time of this recording, the removal of Upscream mod breaks the game. So yeah. So I feel I've improved a lot more just by not animating as much as I should. I've been practicing a bit on different things. Right now it's things like dance moves, but one thing I want to learn, and I might ask one of my friends who's a good fighting animator, is to animate fight scenes. I feel like it's one of the hardest things to get right. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I want to animate some form of fight scene, because right now I've just got Ultron dancing to give me FK, and I've been procrastinating on having Spider-Man dancing to what's it called? That one Persona 4 song, Specialist. Both of these I'm not just importing animation because I want to try and I want to learn, see if I can do it myself, kind of deal, you know? I failed. I failed so hard with drawing. I haven't drawn in months. And when I tried to draw when I was getting into productive things, I always avoided it because it's daunting to me. It really is. I understand. I 100% understand that it's just I am slowly learning, but it's at such a slow pace that it's just massively hit my confidence, like really badly. I'm trying. I still am trying. Really, I am. But it's not looking good, despite the fact that I know I can draw stuff good. Realistically, my goal is just to try and get back on the saddle and get going. Maybe draw something as good as I don't know where I'm placing it as that. Maybe redo one of my my favorite drawings that I made. Honestly, drawing I think is the hardest thing creatively outside of music making, but that's just because I haven't done it in over 10 years, which I have been trying to dip my feet back into because appreciation for music now. So I'm not going to ramble as much at the end of it. I've done that at the start of this video. As I said, this year has been very tough for me. I'm just honestly overall hoping that the universe can maybe cut me a bit of slack next year. Just a little bit. You know, just let me have a breather for a year. You know? You don't need to shower me in good stuff. Just let me have a normal year where nothing seriously bad happens. Just one. Just one, because by God, since 2020, it feels like that's not been the case at all. You know? Oh God, 2020 was 5 years ago. Don't let the thoughts in. Don't let the thoughts in. I'm perfectly fine. This is a joke. Don't let the thoughts in. Anyway, yeah, that is basically it. So, thank you everyone that has stuck around for all these years. I think that means that my YouTube channel's nearly... Hold on. Okay, no, this channel is not 20 years old. It's 20 years old in 2028. Oh my God, my YouTube channel is going to be 20 years old in 2028.